when you are going to pick studies from here, one thing is learn to be responsible, because this is not the place where they will lock dormitories, chase you from dormitories to go and study. Here you are driven by what you want to be after this study is here. Because after A level, you are dreaming to join institution. But after joining such institutions, you have no other place to go to other than to go to the workplace. So this is where they nurture you discipline-wise, professional-wise. Therefore, you must be prepared to be a complete citizen, to help your community, to help where you are coming from. This is where you are supposed to be very responsible about your own affairs. 2, campus life also comes with the other challenges, because it is not bed of roses, as many normally used to advise us when we're in high school, that in campus passing is automatic. My dear, there are also some people who joined this campus very many years ago and they're almost finishing. Others are staying for 5 years, they're doing 3-year course. So you must set your target. What do you want to achieve in 3 years time, in 2 years time if you're doing certificate, maybe in 4 years time if you're doing law, in 3 years time if you are doing maybe business courses or in, IT courses. You must set your target based on what is there in your admission form. So that target, you set it from the word go. And the campus also comes with the unnecessary expenses. One, here you have to purchase, you will have to look for material to read. It comes with the financial constraint. When they open up fully by November, you must be able to find a place where you reside. Residence is if you're non-resident, it is an independent fee you pay to the owner of the house where you're going to stay. So that comes with the financial constraint. Besides that, living independent life is another big challenge that many of us are exposed to when we get to campus. Because when we're in high school, you sleep in dormitory, you are restricted in very many aspects. But here, you stay in hostel where you manage yourself, you manage your expenses, you manage your dressing code, you manage the friends you associate with, you manage how you want to study. So if you are not serious, you may end up getting excited. At the end of the day, you don't get what you are looking for. Many of our colleagues end up dropping out. And I want to assure you, there are also others who have committed suicide, who have threatened to kill their lives because they misled themselves by living irresponsible lives. So please, as you're coming, but you have to do is develop a positive mind to approach all these areas such that you are the person you want to be. Not only the bad parts or else the difficult aspects of life at the campus, the students, actually campus is where there's a lot of enjoyment. That one, you can't take it away from anyone. And for us in Nkumba University, we're privileged. When you study in Entebbe here, you have very many access to certain places that many other people in this country don't have access to. For us here, we know where the international airport is. It is close to us. It is just 1,000 from here to airport. Fun times having hectic. On top of that, when the government opens fully, most of our activities are done or else organized at the beaches. That is not there with the many other universities. So you realize that we have maximum enjoyment, if only it is not because of COVID. So you realize this is a place of fun, place of academics, place of complete life. What else is missing? So please, you're in the right place when you choose to be the right person for this environment. as the dean said, one pillar of success is discipline. This one here, nobody is going to follow you, but your self-discipline, financial discipline, moral discipline, these are things that contribute to the best upkeep, okay, always upbringing of a citizen. Above all, we have a landing site here, landing site where there's cheap fish, people go and eat fish, but when you join, you may end up using your tuition fee, you remove it and go and use it for fun. And that is one thing that you have to learn, financial discipline. So if you don't learn it, your colleagues will convince you and say, let us use your tuition for other things. Then later on realize that you have not paid the tuition yet your parents cleared. And I'm speaking this because I've seen several students who dropped because of mismanaging money. So please, it is high time you learned this before even you come physically here. My team is going to organize for you maybe a fresh session when you come physically. We take you through maybe some of we take you through the same process again, maybe physically introducing leaders, and you have to be well abreast with this. One important person that I want to introduce to you is the Minister for Information and Minister for Academics. During this pandemic period, he is a very important person. One, when you don't have effective lectures, he is one person that you can approach to. You may not all go to the dean for your problems, but you have to utilize the student structures, student leadership to represent your views. When you face academic challenges, you get to the academic minister. I don't know whether I will have to give his number to you. Is by name Mwezi Isaac. So anything related to academics, you can call him and tell you your concern, and he will be in position to guide you. We're here to serve you. That is our interest. Students gave us the mandate to serve, and that's what we're going to commit ourselves to you as new students. Above all, this semester, we are going to have Mr. and Miss Nkumba fashion store, and this is going to be online since they have not fully opened. So it doesn't matter whether you are in first year or which year, as long as you have the interest. As soon as the adverts are going to be put, don't feel bad to participate in it, and it comes with awards. If you win, there are some awards that are given to you for that, and that has been part of the university culture, and we are not going to ignore that. It is going to be this month. Please prepare for it. Another one is going to be the election, because we're actually now finishing our term of office. We can't live without organizing election. So the new leaders who are going to pick from us, you will be the ones to elect them. And the university policy is a bit is clear in the way that for you to contest, you must be in second year if you're in doing 3-year course. And or else if you're in law school, you must be in 3rd year because you're doing 4-year course. So for you have the voting right per now, but you may not have the right to contest. But it is from here that you learn how to proceed with the leadership. And who knows, I may be addressing the next guild president here. I may be addressing the next prime minister here, the next MP from here. Please, when you are joining the university, come with full preparation for all these opportunities, whether academic, whether leadership, whichever way, you must be able to grab where there's opportunity. Don't fear to grab opportunity. I beg to stop here. If there's any question, maybe you will raise to me later. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, His Excellency Amagule Sande, for those wonderful remarks you have given to our new clients. You have heard from your student leader. He has told you everything that housemasters and matrons used to tell you when you had joined secondary schools and primary. In a university, we assume you are mature enough. You take lead of your life. Now, at this juncture, I'm going to call upon the person who admitted you in this university. You have not seen him, neither have you heard from him, but this is the opportunity you have to listen to him. I welcome Professor Andrew Ziga to address the new students. Professor. Professor Iga. Professor Iga, are you there? Mr. Tim John, can you come and say some few words before Professor comes in?
Okay. Good afternoon. Bonadin, we are sorry the host had muted us and was not allowing us to get through, but we are now on.
Okay.
Yes. As has been said, my name is John William Otim. I'm the Senior Assistant Academic Registrar of the university. What I want to say is that all our students who have been able to join us are most welcome to Nkumba University. Our duty as registry is to see that you enter the university, you go to class, and above all, finish your course, finally graduate. But that's not all. Even after graduation, I still call you my student, because in the field, you might be asked to come back to registry to confirm whether you were a student here or not. So the contract that you have signed with Nkumba University has started. In fact, it started on the day you got the admission, and it may not end. So I encourage you, one, to create a very good relationship with the registry and other departments of the university. Registry's work, like I've said, is to ensure that the lectures, you have attended the lectures and you have been taught by people who qualify to teach you. In case of anything in relation to academics, yes, you can deal with the schools, the lecturers, and so on. But it is important that if all fails in those areas, don't assume it's the last point. As registry, we are ready to support you and ensure you move forward until you achieve your dream. While at Nkumba University, please get the manuals and read the policies, read the guidelines that will support you in the way we live and stay here at Nkumba University. Please feel free to consult any officers. You are now a member of the family, and therefore I encourage you to be free to consult and talk to whoever you think is going to help you. In the university level, some of you have just come from high school. We take you as people who are mature and you are able to make decisions for yourself. I don't know whether we have people here who have come to do a course that was sent or that was asked of them by somebody else. If you are such a person, please, I will call it a very unfortunate kind of situation. At this level, we expect you to make decisions and do the things that you think are right for you. But of course, as you're trying to do the things which you think are right for you, we have the guiding principles of the university that you must follow. The university, I know they might have given you some information, but the university has some values that must be respected by every person who subscribes to the university. And I would say you are one of those who has officially subscribed to the membership of the university. I pray that you come, ensure you follow the law, the rules, the constitution that guides the students, but also have your own self guiding principles. Here, when you join, there are a number of activities. The guild president has been giving you a number of them, but it's not that you must participate in everything, even the one you don't belong to. Like we have said earlier, that you're mature, please be very careful to be misguided by other people who have their own views for joining the university. All the students are there. Very soon, once you're allowed to come to class physically, you will meet them. But please don't be taken up by whatever they do. Make sure you continuously guide or follow your direction according to the level or to the direction of your admission. Like I said earlier, for me, my prayer that once you join the university, you must study and move out within as a new person. I don't want to hear some issues where people are saying, come to Nkumba University, find it the way it is, and leave it the way it is. If you are able to change Nkumba University positively, I think it will be a very big contribution to the world. Because Nkumba does not, I'm saying to the world, because Nkumba does not house only Ugandans or people from a certain kind of region. We cover up the whole world and we have people from all over. So as you come here, you're most likely to get a number of cultures and so on. However, to be part and parcel of the activities of the university, you are expected to register your presence or your activities on a semester basis. Whenever you come, you must register. Register from the registration begins with the payment of your tuition. You come and we enter you into our records in the system. Though we also have some records in the book. For now, it's mainly on the system. Now, as you register, you are also expected to enroll. See, registration and enrollment are two things. I'll expect somebody in the IT department to take you through that. But we expect you to enroll. For now, you're supposed to enroll on the e-learning platform, but also you'll enroll on another platform that will be given at the right time, where your marks will be reflected. I'm so excited that your friends who are at home did examinations online and they are able to see the results without coming to Nkumba University. Some of you come from those schools where you must appear before the class teacher to give you the marks. But here, we are able to give you your marks from wherever you are. We have those systems now in operation. I did not want to spend much time speaking things which might have already been said because I was not online, but just want to wish you a very nice day and enjoy the environment of Nkumba University. And when you leave, please live a happy person. And what will lead you to live in a happy way is by you doing all that you're supposed to do, and you'll allow us to also what we are supposed to do. Thank you so much. I hope my boss is online to give more highlights. Thank you so much. Chris?
Yes, thank you, Senior Assistant Academic Registrar. Students you have heard from him is the one who heads the operations down there. Is directed by the Deputy VC, who is the Academic Registrar in the English setting. But to add on what he has said, we expect you to leave the university at the end of your program when you are confident, you are competent, you have character, and you are creative. We don't want to have end products who go before a panel and cannot express themselves. Please start now. I remember I asked people to give us prayers. People were shy. In a university, we don't expect that. Some of you are going to start teaching your friends when lecturers are not there. They have given you a chance to what? Now I want also to hear the voice of the academic registrar. He's going to say hello to you and he's going to listen to him. Normally he's brief, but gives the right point. Professor Iga, you have the floor. Professor Iga. Professor.
Hello.
You talk to your students, sir.
Greetings to everybody.
Yes, good evening.
I greet all those who have joined Nkumba University. You are welcome to Nkumba University, and I assure you, you have not made a wrong decision. Nkumba University is the right university to join. You are joining a university which is chartered. And by being chartered, whatever we offer here, whatever we teach here has been accredited by National Council for Higher Education. Nkumba University received this charter 2006. And in 2019, the university celebrated its silver jubilee, meaning that we never stopped in any single year to teach. So we celebrate the silver jubilee, 25 years of existence. I am the academic registrar, and my core duty with the Department of Academic Registrar is to see that you are admitted to see that you are taught on accredited courses and programs, that you are taught properly by qualified staff, to see that you all receive course outlines before the lectures begin, and those course outlines have objectives, things to accomplish at the end of your course or at the end of each lecture, and again objectives that have relevance, what you should be able to perform at the end of that journey. Normally, when you have studied, you are also examined. Lecturers will set you coursework which you do, which is part of the examination. And when you do exams, your results are debated at school level, school boards, school departments, and then they are forwarded to Senate for approval. And when you finish your course, if it's a certificate, if it's a diploma, if it's a bachelor, if it's a postgraduate diploma in education, if it's master's, if it's PhD, at the end, our department, or I make sure that you graduate from the university and go to join the community out there. Now, to be able to do that every semester, even this semester, would like you to be a registered student. And what does it mean to be a registered student? You should have paid some money to be registered. And we register every semester. So if you are not registered, you are not a known student to the university. Now at the university, we have 6 schools, but very soon we shall have 7 schools. We have School of Education, School of Social Science, School of Sciences, which also includes Institute of Nursing and Midwifery. We have School of Business Administration. We have School of Law, which also houses Institute of Criminal Justice. We have School of Commercial, Industrial Art and Design. And very soon we shall have School of Computing and Informatics. We also have a directorate, which is called Postgraduate Studies and Research, where we offer PhDs, Masters, and Postgraduate Diploma in Education.
Please, students, mute your microphones. Students, assistants, we are getting echo.
As I said earlier, the university academic programs were all accredited by National Council for Higher Education. That includes PhDs, Masters, Postgraduate Diploma in Education, and Postgraduate Diplomas. We have bachelors, they are also accredited. We have diplomas, and we have certificates in the schools mentioned. We also have study sessions. At the moment, we are operating one program, which is the NUEL, whereby we have a license to operate online. Otherwise, in the normal situation when we are opened by the government, we shall operate day, evening, distance, weekend. So all those are study sessions. Now we have a tuition payment, or we have a tuition payment policy in place. If you are able, or your parents are able, your sponsors are able, you pay all the school charges at once, the university charges at once. But if you cannot, you can pay 40% in the first month, 40% in the second month, and in the last month, you pay 20% before you sit for exams. So we have what we call zero balance before I transact our exams. That's operational and it's in place. Now, we insist that you should attend all your lectures. visit the library. At the moment, we are using the e-library, but when we are opened, we would like you to visit also the physical library. Do coursework and submit it on time to your lecturers. And the course has got two options. It has got two components: coursework and examination. So here I'm insisting, sit for your examinations as well. Now, in the case you sit for an exam and you don't perform well, you may be granted a retake. Or if something happens to you before you sit for exams and you are forced to be away so that you don't sit the exam and you have studied, you can also have a retake. You can have a missed paper and the paper that one has a missed paper. Now, every year, since we are created by National Council for Higher Education, we are supposed to pay 20,000 to National Council for Higher Education. You don't pay it to the university. There are receipts within the banks where you pay 20,000 to be also protected by National Council for Higher Education, or to see that your journey at the university is also monitored by National Council for Higher Education. Now, if your certificate is 1 year, but you are forced to go on for 3 years, you have to ask for an extra time. You can apply for that one at a pay. If you go for one semester, it's 100,000. If you go for a whole year, we call it a dead year, you pay 200,000. Now, you can apply for any course at any material time throughout the year, but we have intakes. We have January, Feb, we have August, September for the time being. The one of May is open when the number of students 1 and 6. Now a semester is 17 weeks, 15 weeks of lectures and 2 weeks of examination. And the credit unit is 15 hours. But again, a credit unit is 3 credit units. That one we will study it as soon as we start. A practical hour takes 2 hours, whereby a lecture hour takes 1 hour. So you will understand what credit hours are, what lectures hours are, what practical hours are. Those will be explained to you as we go along with Nkumba University. Otherwise, I welcome you to Nkumba University, and I owe you. Dean of Students,
Thank you so much, Professor, for that elaborate introduction to the new students. The new students, as Professor has said, the semester is made up of 17 weeks. Unfortunately, this one, because we are COVID, all of you, the continuing and the new, are going to use 15. You are studying, you are going to start on the 4th, the weekend are starting on the 2nd, and in the middle, probably in November or December, we expect you to do tests as part of coursework. And you must have paid the 40% the academic register has talked about, the first 40%. Then you will break off for Christmas break. You will break off for a Christmas break from in December, and then return back to continue with your studies. The break will be from the 20th to the 2nd of January. Then on the 3rd January to 16th, we expect you to come and complete the 2 remaining weeks. Mark these dates. On the 17th January to 30th January. In fact, 15th, the weekend will start on the 15th, is Saturday, and the day evening will start on the 17th. Then you'll do exams up to the 30th. You will go back for holiday for 2 weeks because you have been home for a very long time. And we expect you back on the 14th of February with the other continuing students. Mark me, when the others go for holidays, you the freshers, the new students will come back and continue with your studies. I don't want you to be convinced or deceived by the continuing students. They have their timetable, you have your timetable. If you have not understood anything, whatever the academic register has said, the senior academic registrar, the guild president, you either come to the guild president or you come to me. We shall elaborate. The bursar will come in and will tell you how you're going to pay fees. I want you to be attentive. When the bursar and the e-learning person come in, I want your ears, please. At this particular juncture, let me call upon the Vice Chancellor to welcome you officially, give his remarks, and probably after that, the bursar will come in. Professor, sir. Professor Jude Lubega, talk to your students, sir.
Good afternoon to you all, Nkumba University students, staff, and everybody on the call. I would want, in the first place, to take this opportunity to thank the good Lord who has made us come to today as we are attending this orientation. I'm sure many have not been able to come and be with us. But you are here, we thank the good Lord. I would want to take the opportunity to thank the new students for selecting Nkumba University. You could have gone to any other university, but I'm sure there are reasons why you selected coming to Nkumba University. So thank you so much, and you're welcome. Karibu. As many of the speakers have actually talked to you about Nkumba, there's quite that has been said, and I don't have to repeat that. I just want for me to tell you more that the university you are joining is one of the very few chartered universities in the country. Nkumba was the second private chartered university in Uganda, for your information. It's been around for more than 25 years. And that clearly gives you the confidence that you're joining a university that is mature, that has been tested and has tested the times. Out there, if you went and did some research about universities that have survived the COVID era and have easily adopted e-learning for their teaching and learning, Nkumba will come up as number one. We are proud of that we have led the way. We are still leading the way in terms of ICT integration in teaching and learning. And therefore, you've come to interface with some of the best technology you can find in the country. in terms of your education. So feel comfortable, feel proud that you're joining Nkumba University. You are going to get the best out of this as long as you decide to do what has brought you here, which is studying. As you've already been informed, we are currently going to be running online until the time when the president allows us to interface physically. And that's when you will physically interface. But for us, we are not waiting for that day. We are already speeding off so that you start your studies virtually, and you'll love it and you'll enjoy it. I'm sure many of you have been holding these smart mobile phones, but the best they've been able to do is do WhatsApp, a bit of some calls, messages. You are going to now to receive the best out of your phone. Those of you, you'll be told if you can be able to download the Newell app, which is the app that can sit on your mobile phone and use that for learning, right? Getting into the Nkumba classroom live on your phone, you'll be able to get that and use it. That will tell you how strong the university is. We are more than ready for you. The lecturers are ready for you. They are ready to give you what they can to make sure that you transform into the person you really want to be. So I really, really welcome you, and I encourage you to really take it on, work harder during your time with us here. I always tell students there are two easy things to do as a student in a university. Work so hard and you'll pass so highly and your grades will be so good. And the other issue is work so lazily. And again, you'll get what you want, and that will be, your performance will be very bad. And who knows, even you may be discontinued for failing courses and things of that kind. We wouldn't want to go for the last one. We want to go for the first one. Work so hard. That's what brings you here. The time you waste in your first semester, first year, as a new fresher, you'll come to regret it in the second year, in the third year, when you cannot attain a second upper or a first class, but it will be too late for you. So from day one, utilize your time to read hard. The lecturers, the administrators have already made their future. This is the time for you to create your future by working hard. You waste your future now, you'll come to regret it in the future. So please take our advice. When you come to university, the first time you've been left out to independently manage yourself, it becomes so challenging. So if you don't handle yourself very well, then you get disciplines. You'll get problems. So be disciplined. Use the time given to you. If it's class time, use it for class time. If it's for extramural, please go and use it for extramural. Go and have fun. When it comes to class time, go and do the classwork. That's what it means. Work without play is always not good. So have time to relax and play. It's part of the growth. It's part of the entire experience at university. Behave maturely to your colleagues, to your lecturers. Give them the respect they need, and they will respect you in return. We condemn anything that relates to nepotism, sexual harassment, any abuse. We condemn it and we do not encourage it. So once that happens, please feel free, report it to the Dean of Students. He's there to support you. Report it to your guild government. They are there to support you. And we should be able to help you so that you live a good time with us at Nkumba University. You'll always find me on campus. We can interact here and there. But at this time, I just want to wish you all the best of luck in your studies. And where possible, encourage your other colleagues to come in so that we can enjoy the environment with your fellow colleagues at Nkumba University. I wish you all the best. I thank the team that has organized all this, the IT team, those and the rest of the colleagues. Thank you so much. And I wish you all the best of the event, of the full week of orientation. Let's take it on. And we have a very good time at Nkumba University. God bless you. Thank you.
Professor, thank you for that brief remark of yours. Students, that is our boss, the Vice Chancellor. You will meet him when you get a chance, when we have those general assemblies organized by Guild, and we will address you physically. There are some questions I would like either AR or Assistant Senior Registrar to react upon. Students want to know, distance students want to know the duration of the long distance, and also elaborate more about registration. Back to you, AR's office. Mr. Tim? Okay, Mr. Tim is not there.
Please.
Let's have the passer take you
Yes,
through
please.
how you make. Are you there?
Yes, Collins. Yes, I hear Collins.
No, I want you to react more on the duration of the distance, the long distance studies, and also the registration. Students want to know more about that.
Okay, let me talk briefly about the long distance. Long distance is one of the study sessions that we have, but it's a session that is mainly taken by those students who are so busy, and also mainly with those who have some experience relating to the field they are in, because the timing of the interactions, the face-to-face interactions with the lecturers is so minimal. That's why we would like to encourage those who are not able to, especially the fresh, those who are fresh from high school, or if you're doing some course which is new to you, we encourage you to enroll on either the weekend program or the day program. The sessions for distance are usually 2 weeks at the beginning. When you are reporting, you take about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, you'll have lectures. And when you finish your lectures, you're most likely to do exams. But exams are done in the next session when you're coming back. Usually in the following session, at the beginning, of course, these sessions begin at the beginning of the semester. When you come, you'll have lectures, and then you go back home. Then the next semester you come, begin with examinations in the first week, and then go ahead with the lectures for the following semester. Now, the beauty of it is when you come to have a face-to-face session with your lecturers, you are given study materials, and we expect you to go back and continue reading through those materials, but also continuously consult with the respective lecturers so that you move forward smoothly. It's a tiresome session because the bigger contribution is by you, the student, and you are expected to respond and do most of the things by yourself. However, it is important that if you are one of those, always be in touch with your school, be in touch with your lecturers, but also have contacts of other people who will be able to help you from time to time. That is mainly what happens in the long distance session, though it also takes the normal period of 3 years for degree, 2 years for masters. It is actually a very tasking session. For issues of registration, I would allow the people who are going to take you through the IT session to give you more guidance on registration. But even if you are to register online, you are also expected when you return to register first, like I said earlier, with the registry. But when you're registering with registry, we shall expect you to have made a commitment. That is a payment. That's why I said the beginning point is accounts. Then you get to registry. You present, for the new ones, you present your academic documents. But every semester when you come back, you must what? Must register. We need to take a record of that because it's really very important. When you finish with the registry, of course, when you come there, we shall give you all the information. When you finish with the registry, you go ahead to register with the school where you belong. They should also get to know that you are present. And that's now where you'll get to know the course units or the subject of the semester. From the school, you will go ahead to the dean of students, the one who's available here. You will go to his office, and he will also register your presence, because all of these points of registration need information about you for planning of different activities that occur in the university. So that's basically what I can say about registration, but I know you'll be given more of that information when the IT team takes you through. I thank you for now.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tim. Thank you for that presentation. Students, I'm going to call upon the bursar to give you highlights of how we pay our fees. Ms. Salongo Zimbe, please, the floor is yours. Mr. Zimbe? Mr. Bernard Zimbe? Mr. Bernard Zimbe? Zimbe, please. Okay, let me ask Mr. Revuza to take you briefly through how we are going to access timetables and lectures. Mr. Revuza, the floor is yours. Mr. Niwagaba.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Revuze is setting up and is actually online.
Mr. Revuza.
Hello, good afternoon, members. Okay, good afternoon, members. Good afternoon, members, once again. Okay, I want to go through the e-learning bit and anything that will help us to be able to have our learning very interesting as we go through this pandemic. We are going to go through 2 or 3 items. One, we'll go through the student portal, see how the student portal works, so that we get to know what we need to do. 2, I'm going to give you a simple highlight of what is expected for us to be able to. This is what we are going to go through briefly. We'll be able to go through how we log into the learning management system, how we could have our accounts activated for the e-learning, searching for courses, downloading content, how we participate in the different activities as we need them, how we can add an assignment or an exam if it is being given, and also the chat and forums. So I am praying that by the time we are done, we shall have some questions coming through on what we need to have for us to be able to move forward. So I want to go away from this and actually be able to go into the system directly. Now, as I go into the system itself, allow me also, friends on call, to remind you something that happened to you last night. If you remember, most of you last night, you received an email from someone you didn't know, and it was all about some of these things. It was having your student number. For all of you, your student number is going to be, or is actually, your e-learning ID. Okay, so you can take it from me. Your student number is your e-learning username. Next to that is an e-learning password, which is the password that you're going to be using from now. And once you put in this password, it will ask you to change it. The next one is a university email address, which you must have as a student of Nkumba and as part of Nkumba. This is going to replace what you've been using with your personal mails. Reason, some of the things you'll be doing will require you to use institutional mails. You can only use a university mail for you to be able to accomplish some of these activities. The password to your institutional mail is also given to you. So I'm going to take you through, I'm going to pick one of these IDs or details, and I show you how we log into the university email, how we log into the e-learning platform, how we activate our portal, and so on and so forth. By show of, let me see, do we have someone called Abajo? Abo Alvin? Do we have Abo? Okay, I think we have Abo here. We are going to do a demonstration using Abo's details. So, one, this is her student number. If I may take this away. That is her student number. This is her password for e-learning. This is her email address, and this is the password for her email address. So we are going to go through this first with the email address, then lastly we shall do with the student number. Okay. For us to access the email, we use what all of you are known, what is known to all of you, and this is the Gmail. Okay, so you access your browser. Your browser is a software you're supposed to use to access either your internet. It can be Chrome, it can be Brave, it can be Internet Explorer, it can be Mozilla. Some of you are using Safari, and so on and so forth. Now, you go to Gmail, and under Gmail, you're supposed to enter your username and your password. If you're having quite a number of emails, simply go and add another account, and then you choose new account. It is at this level that you're supposed to give us or to put your university email. So her university email is abo at nkumbauniversity.ac.ug. You put the full university email. Then you click at next. You come and put the password that was given to you, which is that, and that is the password as it appears. The first letter is capital, the rest are small. Then you say next. Because you're accessing it for the very first time, it is going to ask you to accept the terms and conditions of using this email address. You click at accept. And when you accept, then you go ahead and confirm your details. So we now have an email address which has been activated. Okay. The next thing from here, you discover that we have about 3 emails. One of the mails is actually inviting you for the orientation that we are having today. It was also sent to you yesterday. The next item that we are going to do is for us to see how do we activate a university e-learning account. I'll open a new tab. On opening a new tab, I want to go to Nkumba University website. And on Nkumba University website, there are a number of things that we can talk about. One, we have an e-learning portal. Those of you having mobile devices, you can download a mobile app for our e-learning. And all our timetables are placed in this section where we find timetables and all schools. So allow me show you where we find the timetables. The timetable section, all schools. Go and look for your specific school. Within your school, you'll be able to find a timetable that corresponds with your school. Okay. We have year 1, 2, 3, and then year 4, for example, for School of Law. Now, once that is done, we can move away from that. We are going to go back to the e-learning. On the e-learning itself, you go and click at the e-learning portal. When you click at the e-learning portal, you're going to find where you put a username and password. If you're using a mobile phone, you're going to see a picture of a padlock next to on your screen. That picture simply reminds you that you're supposed to tap there if your mobile phone, put your username, put your password, and then you'll be good to go. So we said you are going to be using ABO's details. That's what we are going to use for the e-learning and demonstrate how it works. So you put your username, that is your student number. We have already created your usernames, by the way. You don't need to create anything. Simply access that link and the emails that we sent you indicating your username and your password. Go and click at password and put in your password, then log in. Because you're logging in for the first time, the system is going to ask you to reset your password for your e-learning account. Put in the current password, which is the password that we gave you. Then down, go and design or think of a password you can use yourself. So I'm going to think of a password that we are going to use for the purposes of learning. So I say I want to use, and now the password, if you look at this, it is very guiding enough. It says we must have a capital letter or an uppercase, a lowercase, a character, and then a digit. Putting you a little bit away from that, I want to demonstrate something. If you talk of an uppercase, for a password we mean we must have, that is uppercase, then lowercase, a character, and then digits. Okay. So an uppercase may be a capital N to refer to something that we don't know. A lowercase may be Nkumba. Okay. Then characters are very many. It could be any of these can be a character. So you choose what you want. I'm going to only choose one, which I'm going to put in brackets, which will be a hash. Then down we have digits. Digits can range from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. Since you are 2021, I'm going to choose 21. So in essence, my password is going to be Nkumba hash 21. This is an example because we have the capital letter, the lowercase letters, the character, lastly we have the digits. That is what I'm going to take over as my password for the other account. So I'm going to go back to e-learning for us to be able to reset our password. So that is my password, and type it twice. Once I am done, I save the changes. Password reset is successful. Okay. Are we together, friends? I believe we are together up to this point. Click continue to proceed with your account. Looking at this, because this is a new place you're reporting to, it gives you what we call a dashboard or a tour for you to know what is within this room of yours. If you want, you can go with a tour. If you don't want, you may simply end the tour. When we check through this, we have the navigation section. We'll see what is under navigation. We have the timeline. You know what you put on your timelines on Facebook. So we have a timeline on our e-learning. We have the recently accessed course units or courses. They will be available here. And then down we have the online users. This is a section where we find people who are available online when we are together. For example, we have Shama Bakita. I think some of these people are actually freshers like you and me on this forum. I know a few whose names have been able to come across. Now, when we are here, there are a number of things we can do. You discover we have this section here where we have a 1. Now, this is an orientation. This is a message that was sent, so we can exchange messages on an e-learning platform. If someone sends a message, which is this is your message that we're sending to you, you'll be able to receive the message in here and also in the inbox of your email address. When any of the other members of your class also send you messages, you'll be able to see the messages coming through. The next item, if you want to send a message anyway to someone, just click at the person's name, and then you'll be able to send the message. Now, once that is done, the next item would be, now that I am here, I want to go and start attending classes. I want to be able to receive my notes. How do I receive my notes? Where do I find them? Now, for you to receive your notes, you need to be enrolled into the course units. Remember, we have enrollment that is on two sections. First, enrollment on the e-learning and also enrollment on the students portal, which we are going to look at after e-learning. Now, under such courses, the section up here, this is where you're going to type the name of the course unit that you're supposed to do. As freshers, there are certain course units you're supposed to be doing, and these you pick them from your timetable and also from the course offers and the prospectus that you received from the registrar's office. Let's take an example. If you're supposed to do IT research, you type IT research under such courses, IT research, and then you search for that particular course unit. When you search for that course unit, a number of course units will come to display. Only look out to the course unit that reflects what you're supposed to have as an individual. For example, this is what I am looking for. And once I get to this, I should be able to get in and access the content. Sometimes you may have any other unit. We can pick any other unit. We have units from School of Business, units from School of Law, and so on and so forth. Let me pick for one for advanced research, qualitative research methods. You simply click at enter course, and once you click at enter course, then you click at enroll me. This means you've been enrolled into the first course unit. You can end the tour. If you're doing any other course unit, you go back to search courses and search for another course unit. You look through the unit that you're interested in, and then if this is the unit, you click at it. Now, clicking at this unit means you see it says there is a key. This means the lecturer for this unit set an enrollment key that you must provide for you to get into his course, and the key must be put there. Usually what the lecturers do, after setting up these keys, they'll go ahead and send these keys to the different students whom we call the course coordinators. These course coordinators will be able to help you and disseminate this information, including the course codes, to make sure that you are able to enroll yourselves into these course units. Just a moment. So if you know the course unit, the code, I think it is 246. I'm not very sure. Simply click at type the code and click at enroll me. If it is the right code, it will take you in. If it is not, it will not take you in. Let me look for the code here. So it is important that you get in touch with your class coordinators and also your lecturers to be able to find out if anything of the sort has been actually done, to make sure that you're not left out when it comes to accessing content within your specific course unit. So class coordinators are very important, and make sure that as you start learning, you name the different class coordinators. So the code is 234, and then enroll me. Give it a few minutes, it will put you in, and then you have your unit also. So these are 2 units already. When you go ahead and refresh your screen will be able to show you 2 under my courses. This means these are the two course units that you have. So it means that on the timetable, you're supposed to offer these two course units. Meanwhile, on the other hand, as you keep enrolling yourself into these course units, the system keeps confirming your enrollment. Whatever unit you get into, the lecturer sends you a communication welcoming you to his course unit. And make sure you get these notifications. If you cannot get one, that means you have a problem somehow, somewhere that must be sorted out. So try as much as you can always to make sure that you follow all through. Now that that is done, the next thing would be, how do you pick notes of the system? If you look at my courses, let me start with the research. Lecturers put different content. They'll put communication for you that you must know, you must access. Let me look for another course unit for purposes of comparison. Okay, this is another person that we can try out. You see what is here? This is very good actually. So you have your announcements, you have your courseworks if they have been given, you have the notes, whatever you see. For example, topic 1, this particular file, these are notes. These are notes, PDF, these are notes. You simply go and download this. You just click at it, download to your machine, and then you save it to your computer. That is good enough. That means you've been able to pick this resource off the system. You can even access it even when you do not have internet. 2, there are other things that you may find. For example, there is this audio understanding conflict of lecture 1 to 4. This is an audio, and this is a resource that has also been given to you. To go through this resource, you click at the resource itself, then it will open if it is available, and then you'll be able to access that resource. Sometimes you may be given several readings. Just go to the readings. For example, we have conflict is a reading. We have read another reading here. You just simply click at it and it will download onto your machine. There you'll be good to go. The next question is, what happens when I want to attend a virtual class? I want to be in class with the rest of my friends or my colleagues. Remember, at this moment, you do not know who your colleagues are, not know who is part of your class. All that you need to do is to make sure that you log in and go to that particular course unit and attend class. You'll find your colleagues in there, and then you'll start working together as students. For you to attend a virtual class, you either find this icon or the one below. One of the two will be available for you. And what is available is what you click at. I'll start with the first one, which is called a big blue button. We have come to our session using Zoom, and that's the icon for Zoom. So if you want to start our virtual class under big blue button, which most of you will be using, you click at introduction, the class, its class name, and usually that class reflects what will happen in the actual environment. Once you click at it, you shall be able to see something with join session. Now this means that the class ended was set to happen on a specific date, and it ended. Let me look for another one that we can use for our test purposes. We have first virtual engagement. Click at the class name, and when you click at the class name, you'll be able to find join session. But before you join a session, if by any chance you've missed a class and you want to see what your colleagues learned in your absence, always below join session, you see the word recording, and down playback. This is a recording of the class that happened in your absence. And if you want to go through what they went through, simply click at the class, and then it will open in a new window. When it opens up, it will start playing the way you watch movies on YouTube. You start watching whatever they went through in your absence. You'll be listening, you'll be watching, and you'll be enjoying the class. The only thing that you'll miss here will be that you will not be able to ask any question that will be live there and then. We go back. So to attend a class, you join session. And when you join session, because you want to be able to listen and be able to ask, it must be an interactive class. You're going to activate your microphone. So it is moving from e-learning to take us to our virtual class environment. Once we are within our virtual class environment, we have the microphone and the listen only. We activate a microphone. And when you click, the system will look through and activate your microphone. Sometimes the system may not come up to this level and it stops at testing echo. Whenever you get such a problem, feel free to get with any of us. We'll be able to help you and sort you out. 1, 2. Whenever you click at microphone and you're doing it for the very first time, the system is going to ask you if you want the device audio settings to be accepted by our system, that is our e-learning, and a big button. The moment you deny, that means you're denying yourself a chance to be able to listen. And the moment you accept or allow, that means you're allowing the system to use your audio settings to give you access to ask questions and also listen to what the lecturer will be teaching you. And if it finishes testing echo and you're able to hear your echo speaking, yourself speaking, that is testing echo, you click at yes to confirm. Now, this is an indication to you that our class has been accepted and we are in class. We have the mute button. You mute yourself if you're not speaking, then you unmute if you want to speak. Okay? 2, if you want to know your colleagues in class, at the extreme left-hand side, you have a set of all your colleagues' names will be listed here. Next is a chat session where you can send chat messages to all your colleagues, your lecturer inclusive. And the third one where we see the blue bit, that is where we find the same representation of what the lecturer would be teaching with you presented to you, and you can actually follow onwards. There's no presentation currently. That's why you see it appear the way it appears. Now, things to note. If you're on this virtual class, make sure you do not activate your microphone unless you've been requested to do so, because you may not like the consequences of what may happen afterwards. When you're done with the class, the lecturer will end the class session, or you can log out yourself. And the moment you log out, then you're out of class. You wait for the next class to come or to start, and then you move on to the next class. So this means you'll be doing this, of course, following what will be happening within your timetable. If you happen to find a session going and you are unable and you want to know if it is happening, you'll be able to see before the join session, you'll be able to see there is a class going on, the time it started, and how many of your colleagues are in that class, and how many moderators or the lecturer is within that same class. So it is important that you also take note of that section. So we are done with accessing a virtual class. The next item would be, if I want to access a discussion, because they are discussion forums and they are important. So for a discussion forum, you'll find a discussion like this. This will be in your own words using an example, how research is done and so on and so forth. If you want to access this, you click at this. And when you click at it, then you'll be able to read everything. Down, you'll have an option to respond. And whatever you respond will be taken into consideration, and you'll be told, you'll keep discussing with your colleagues. For example, this person did have a discussion on 5th November 2020. And whatever you discuss remains on the system until you finish your university. The e-learning account you've received is for you to use between now and the time you leave your university. When you report back to the university physically, you're going to tune yourselves from purely a virtual environment back to an environment that allows both interaction of online and also physical, which is referred to as blended learning mode. So make sure you are abreast with information as it comes on board. One of the reasons why we want you to do this, if I can divert you a bit, one of the reasons is actually, where is my Zoom? Where is my Zoom? Okay. What we want you to do, to learn or to get out at the end of the day, we want you to be able to get these things by yourself, the way everything appears here. You must be engaged. You must be able to exchange with your colleagues. You must be enriched between now and the time you leave the university. You must extend your learning environment from being physical to even online, that even when you're at home, you are able to work and you're able to learn. You must be empowered to be able to say or to articulate whatever you may want to put across. And learning should be embedded. At the end of the day, it should be able to entertain you for you to get the best out of it. Friends, that is as far as the discussion forums are concerned. On certain occasions, you may be able to find a chat session. And if a chat session does exist in any of the courses that you have under your profiles, feel free to engage in those chat sessions. I want to see if there's any of these units that has a chat session for me to show you. Oh, there is none. Okay. Now I want to show you how do you activate access an assignment. If you've been given a coursework to do or an exercise to do, we've been using exercise at our level, secondary. Now we want to use assignments and courseworks. Go to the coursework name which was given. Open the coursework as it appears. As you open the coursework, make sure you're not caught off guard in terms of time. The system manages time, and if you're not careful, it will cut you off without you submitting your work for marking. Those days we used to go back to school with the holiday work that is received, and when you are reporting back to school, we shall not ask you for holiday work. This time we shall ask you to submit your assignment. Always make sure that you look around this section here to know that you're not caught off guard. For example, the assignment was given and was supposed to be submitted by January 9th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. That's slightly before midnight. So make sure that whenever there is an assignment, you're not caught off guard. I want to see if there is any other unit that has an assignment that we can try out. Let's try this. Okay, this is also overdue. Okay, there is this one. Once you've been received an assignment, these will be the instructions for the assignment. Down here, you have your unit, and it says grading, no attempt, not graded, there's nothing. So the moment you finish working on your assignment, go to add submission. I want to repeat, go to add submission, put your, either type a text or put your file that you've been able to work on at this very moment. Click at the arrow down, go to file, choose your file, which is the actual file you've been able to work on. And once you get this file, assuming that is the file, upload this file. And after uploading the file, you're going to save changes. If you do not save changes, when you are after uploading your file, you've not submitted your work. And after submitting your work, the system should be able to give you a notification confirming the submission of your work. It's taking a little bit longer. Let me just look for a file that I can drop here for purposes of learning. Okay. Load this. And then you have the save changes. If you don't save changes, no work done. You'll come to us when you're crying and we may not be able to help you at this moment. So once you're here, you click save changes. The moment you save changes, then you have submitted your work. Now you check your status. The moment you finish submitting, the status will change to submitted for grading. You've not yet been given the marks. When did you submit? Well, you did submit late, and the file you submitted plus the time you submitted this file. Here you only have a maximum of 30 minutes before the work, or it locks you from editing your work. And once this is done, then you're free to go home and rest. If you've not been very observant here, you can also go back to your email address. And the moment you go back to your email address and check, you'll be able to get a notification that confirms to you that you've submitted your assignment for marking. This is proof to you. Do not and never delete such mails when they come into your inbox, because these are proof that you've been able to attempt some work and you submitted your work. Most of the people we have here never pay attention to this, and they keep being victims of circumstance. Another item that I want us to look at this afternoon, let's see. Please note that learning is a process. It will never end. Browser, entering chat. Okay, I think we are good. We've been able to do most of the things. I just want to finalize with a few things. Now, on the same e-learning site, friends, many of the current students have been calling us on a number of occasions. Sometimes even feel bad because people are not understanding what you're telling them to do. But of course, being a learning environment, we were able to put up what we refer to as a student guide. It is here. The moment you click at this student guide, and it will open into your browser. If you have the time, you can download this off. Download it and then put it on your device. Keep referring. It's a 9-page document. Whatever I have been explaining, it is within the same document. Everything is there. How to search for course units, how to get content, how to download notes, discussion forums, submitting assignments, adding files, quiz, and so on and so forth. But I want to look at one last item, and that is what gives us trouble as friends and as members, as students. And we refer this to an FAQ, a frequently asked question. Now, for you, before you leave to go, always make sure you sign out of your e-learning account. Click at your name, come to log out and sign out of your e-learning. Chances are high that at the end of the day, you'll actually forget your password. If you happen to forget your password, it is not the end of the world. Don't feel like hanging yourself. Simply come back to the e-learning system. There is a self-service. This is a self-service system for you to be able to enjoy the learning. Make sure that you click at login, and at login you go to forgot username or password. Click at it twice, then search by your email address. So one of the things you should never lose is your email address. Go to the system, search by your email address, and click at search. The system is intelligent enough. It is going to look through all the available usernames and passwords and pick out your username. And once you do this, it sends a communication to your inbox of your mail. Go to your email, you'll find a link requesting which is a password reset request. Click at it, and once you click at it, you'll have your username in there, but you have a link, and this link, the moment you click at it, will be able to open up. It will remind you of your username, but it will give you an option to put your password twice. The moment you put the password twice here and down there, save changes, you'll have finished resetting your password and you're good to go. That is the self-service that I want you to always remember whenever you're using the e-learning system. Because this is a learning process, those are a few basics I want to take you through. Now I want to turn my guns to the student portal. If you go to the university website, there is a student portal, and that is student.nkumbauniversity.ac.ug. On this student portal, this is where you will be generating your records. You're generating your payment references and so on and so forth. Still using the same person, that is Abo Alvin. Put in your student number. Put in a student number again and click at login. The system is going to ask you to type your full name. Do we have Abo online? Abo, please unmute. Abo, unmute. Good. Can you give us your full name?
Abo Alvin, A double B-O, then Alvin, A-L-V-I-E-N-E. It's like
Good.
that.
So the moment we type in your names, click OK. It's going to confirm whether this is the actual person. Is this you?
Yes.
Good. You simply say yes. Now it's going to ask you to send an email verification or a phone verification. So we are going to use the phone. You're going to give us a link, a code, which is going to come to your phone number. Give me your phone number, or maybe I can use your email.
Use the phone number.
I use the phone number.
Yes.
Okay, what is your number?
It is
0756
93
53
93
93
46
46
19.
19.
Yes.
Then we say get code. Now give us the code you have received in your text message. We are waiting.
Let me read it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. Capital A.
Capital A.
8. F.
F. Sorry?
B.
B.
Then 59.
59.
Yeah.
So you verify. And once you verify, we proceed. So it gives us an option to put our new password. Purposes of not losing everything, we are going to use the same everything, that is same student number, and then we change password. So our password has successfully changed. So if we go back and log in now, the same student number will give us our system the way we see it here. We go ahead and verify our details. She's Abo Alvin, correct. Bachelor's, correct. Correct, 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 correct. And once we are done, we submit to confirm the submissions. Okay, so because you are first years, you are new, first semester, and then you enroll yourself. So there we are. So Madam does not have an invoice yet, but an invoice will come. If she wants to make a payment, there are a number of things we can do here. You're can be able to see your transaction ledger. You can register yourself with AR and the mortgage you take. You can view your results. It is important that you also view results. From here, you can generate a payment reference. Click at Get Payment Reference Number. And then, since you don't have any invoice, any amount of your choice, 500, you can even give us 5 million. Right? Once you give us the 5 million, click at Generate Reference. The system is going to generate a reference. This is what you're going to pick and take to the bank to make a payment. The moment you make your payment, that amount will be transferred to your account. Be good to go. Now, question to those who keep lying their parents about tuition fee. Once your parent lands on this, you'll be in trouble. So we are requesting you, try as much as you can, make sure right to the university. You can also pay via mobile money. If you have mobile money, simply click at mobile money. You can click here to initiate a payment. This is not your number. This is the number she put in. This is not her
Yes.
number. She can click. If that is the number, click at initiate payment. Then there is a message which has gone to her phone number, requesting her to proceed with the payment based on the invoice that you have generated. This invoice lasts 24 hours. By the time we get to 24, it will expire and you have to generate a new invoice. So, in brief, that is what we have for the students portal.
Enter PIN number to confirm the DFC UZP payment amount.
Sorry?
The message is enter PIN number to confirm the DFC UZP payments for amount, the amount of your payment.
Yeah, if you decide to use the mobile payment method, that is what is going to happen. And then you make it. Once you make the payments, the money will automatically hit the university account and you'll be cleared with your tuition fees. Meaning you don't need to travel from all the way from Wajumani to come to Kampala to get a reference number and make payments to the university. A word of caution, friends. You're new to the university. We strongly with the strongest terms discourage you students from giving your money to anyone you find at the university to make payments for you. You must do payments by yourself. I repeat, we discourage you from giving your money to anyone to make payments on your behalf. Do not accept to make payments on your behalf. Make sure you do the payments yourself. So we are going to share a screen, another screen. We're going to have it shared. It's actually coming on, which shows the different numbers you can call for any problem, just in case you have one. Otherwise, Abo, Alvin, thank you very much. You'll be able to get in touch with me and set your details for you to be able to use your account very well. Thank you very much. I want to call now someone else to come and take us through another session. These are some of the numbers that I want you to look at and make use of whenever you have issues with either your e-learning, portal, or anything else to do in the university. We have AR, have Dean of Students, have e-learning, ICT, have Kampala campus, we have many campus. All the people that we see there, please take their numbers, take their contacts for any help that you need from the university. If you go to the chat room, you also have WhatsApp groups in the chat room which have been shared already. Feel free to get in and be part of those different groups. We hope that once we are done with this, you get the best out of it and enjoy your learning. Before I leave, something I want to share with you. As we are learning online, there are a number of things that I want you to consider and also make sure that you're not caught off guard. We call them etiquettes. I don't know if it was mentioned earlier on, but allow me mention it in brief. Okay, where is it? It is here. Okay. I think these are very few. They will not take us much time to go through. In the next 5 minutes, allow me to share with you something very small about the etiquettes. What we expect of you while you're having your learning. We do expect a number of things, but most of what we expect from you is for you to get the best out of it. Okay, so one of the things that we want you to do is that you must prepare yourselves. Look for the best network for you to be able to attend your class. And attend your class, come to class early enough and prepare yourself for a better learning. 2, check the way you dress. Because you are virtual, some of you may end up dressing half naked and attending class. Accidentally, your microphone, rather your video may be switched on. You'll be embarrassed for the rest of your life. And you'll embarrass your classmates. The same respect you would give to a physical class when you're coming to a physical encounter should be the same respect you give to a virtual class. If you're having your class, be aware of your surroundings. If you are presenting on behalf of your group, make sure that your environment is as good, is not messy as that looks like. And make sure the place is not noisy. Some of us have dogs and cats and cars all moving all around. Some of us keep playing as we're in class. We know we are in a holiday, but make sure you are in a safe environment that is conducive for learning. Request your parents to give you time to attend your lectures. As you're online, avoid eating food while you're studying, avoid flirting with fellow students, do not shout at your colleagues, do not throw insults to anyone, do not discuss politics in non-political classes. I am not a political animal, but if you do, then avoid sharing pornography, whether accidentally or intentionally. Why? Because there is a cyber harassment law that may actually get you off guard and you use it. Whatever is sensitive, have it protected, and make sure you get the best out of it. Also, sorry. As you continue attending class,
Goodbye. All right.
watch
After you guys tomorrow.
the class is done.
You guys.
Do not be like these people. As you see this short video, the way it's going to be. I spoke about those who come to class when they are half gentlemen, and you never know what who may be taking
Can you hear us?
pictures of
Oh no!
to share.
Jen, call him. Oh my gosh!
You see, this gentleman wants to take a picture.
Takes a couple pictures of that.
No way are going to share these pictures with your parents. When we open physically for classes, you may want to come back to class.
What's up?
Tony, I can see you.
We can all see you.
Lastly, turn off your video if you're not going to use it, because you never know what may happen. This gentleman is in the toilet. The rest of the other colleagues are in a meeting. Don't be caught off guard. Thank you for listening. Okay, can we have questions coming through? Let's have Basa. One question, and we have Basa to come online to take us through some part. Okay, one question, and then we go. Okay, you're all scared. Asa? Okay, Paul Anyang.
About Alvin.
Paul Anyang. Goya Stephen Sunday, go ahead.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
I'm about Alvin. Sir, I would like to inquire that affect me
Correct?
for the things that you've been doing on my account affect me when I'm opening up another new account.
You don't need to open up a new account. We said once we are done with this call, please get in touch with me. I'll give you what to do and we change the details. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You have my number, I believe.
Yes.
On the screen, we have the number or our account numbers for the university for depositing money, especially those who are outside or out of the country. You can simply make a deposit to any of those banks, then you'll be good to go. Now, before I leave, also allow me come back briefly. When you go to YouTube, thank you, Brenda. On YouTube, you have a number of activities, and when you look for Nkumba University on Nyuwere, which is Nkumba University e-learning environment, you'll see very many videos. These are all videos for you to go and watch. How to create an account, how to attempt exams. You see, there are quite many. How to log in if you want to log in, how to go through the course content. If you click at any of these, and then you go to
Good grammar and spelling
Nkumba
are
University,
important. But if you want to write essays that
a
inspire,
lot of
messages that forge brighter connections, and emails that get the job done, you need to think about
you see
more
a
than
lot of videos and watch how to create an account. One of them is how to attempt exams. What we see, there are quite many. How to log in if you want to log in. How to go through the course content. If you click at any of these, friends, and then you go to make use of
good grammar and spelling
Nkumba
are
University. It is good for you, good for your friends, for your colleagues, and when you get this information, do not sit on this information. Lastly, no, I mentioned it. I thought I had not mentioned about the email and how to log into your email. So I think that is what I have for you. We can have a few questions as we get to the other gentleman who is coming, the bursar who is coming on board, take us through. There are some initiation codes when paying using a phone. Yes, as long as you've activated to use a payment mode of a mobile phone, you go through a series of instructions, and all of these are encrypted end to end. No one will be able to hack through your mobile phone to take your money unless you carelessly give out your mobile phone PIN. As I mentioned, the timetables, we find the timetables. We do find the timetables on the university website. That's where they are. Some of them are already shared in your platforms, but the common place we can tell you where they are is the university website. Yes, Brenda and Simire, feel free to pass by and do that very early in the morning, at least before 11. You could be considered. Distance for long students, I think you're told to start, you're starting tomorrow to have your lectures working. The initial fees, the university has a fees policy of 40, 40, and then 20. Meaning if you're paying 1 million as your tuition, the first installment at least should be 400,000. You give us another 400,000 after a month or two, and then you give us the 200,000 later on to make sure that you're able to finish up with your tuition. Tomorrow, I want to repeat once again, as of now, I want to briefly take you through again how we could do access. If you're a weekend person, and you want to attend lectures, log into your account as a student. Log into your account as a student, and then once you're logged in, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead and access the course unit you're supposed to be attending in terms of classes. If this is the one, you click at the course unit based on the timetable that you have. Go into that course unit and click at the virtual class environment. Once you click at this virtual class environment, you'll find join session. Click at join session. When you click at join session, your colleagues will be doing the same wherever they are. Go ahead and activate your microphone. To activate your microphone, click at the microphone bit, give it some time for it to do an echo test to make sure that your sound settings are okay. The moment you hear your feedback coming back to you, then you know you are good to go. Click at yes.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Wait for your colleagues to come to class. The lecturer will come, will find you in the same room. They'll share their work in this section. You'll also be able to see your colleagues on the left-hand side and a chat section where you can have chats with your colleagues and your lecturer, just in case you don't want to speak. If you want to ask anything, unmute yourself.
You are now unmuted.
Say whatever you want to say, and then you move on. Sometimes
You are now
lecturers
muted.
will display content on the screen, as I've just shared my screen like this. And once this happens, then they'll be able to take you through that session and be able to see, as they are able to move from one slide to the other, you also be able to see the slides moving from the start until the end. Once they are done, they can stop sharing their screen, and when they stop sharing their screen, you will cease to see whatever they were sharing with you, and then the class will end. The lecturer will be responsible for recording the session with you, such that for those who may have failed to attend class, you'll find a recording and then go through the recording, and also to be able to learn and get the experience of what our class was. We don't even know the course units timetables. Madam Obasa, I just mentioned, please get in touch with your schools. The deans are actually waiting for you, and they are actually sending you messages. And I also said that go to the university website. You'll be able to see your details in terms of timetables and course offers. Another person may ask us that where do I happen to find my email now that I'm not there with you? The moment you log on to the e-learning, the topmost bar, which is yellow, this NRM bar, there is a tab that says email list. Click at email list. In the email list, you'll be able to see all your emails. I think the first 7,000 students not have the student numbers. But as you keep going down, somewhere, you'll find your student numbers somewhere. Your student number is your e-learning password. Okay? Your name, your second name, your email address, and then the password to your email is also somewhere as it was displayed to you. Also note that when you check through your emails, I sent you an email yesterday indicating your username for e-learning, your password for e-learning, and username for your email address and the password for your email. That said, allow me and I'll probably respond to some of the other questions that may be in the chat room. There is a WhatsApp group that we are urging you to join. This is where we shall be posting some of the things that we go through and make sure we keep you updated. Communication is not very easy, but we'll try our best. We have a number of university digital platforms. Please make sure you subscribe to these platforms for you to get to know what is happening in and around Nkumba, whether you're within the university or out of the university. Juma, please unmute. Yes, Nancy, you'll be able to do so as long as you activate your e-learning, because that's where you'll have your learning taking place. Make sure you have it activated as soon as possible, starting tonight when we are done with this call. We are going to share this recording with you on mail, but also feel free to go to YouTube and find the same recording available for you. Anyang Atem, unmute. Deadline for what, Sanyu? The paying percentage is 40%. If you can give us 100%, excellent. But if the worst comes to the worst, at least give us 40%. Shall be able to listen to you. Duration of lectures. University lectures go for 3 hours. Some go for 2 hours, depending on the level you're in. Masters 3 hours, undergraduate 2 hours. But it may be 1.5 hours or 1 hour, depending on what the lecturer has prepared for you. Make sure you access your e-learning to access your content for to start learning. Most of you gave us email addresses which are not valid. So when we tried sending you mails, they bounced back. Okay, they bounced back. So we are requesting that you go to this site which I had shared with you and make sure you you look through your details to find your student numbers, your first names, whoever was admitted, whoever was applied and was given an offer, the names are here. You're quite many. Simply get in and look for your name. You'll be good to go. I've shared my number in the chat room, and it is also going to be shared again on the same platform. I will have our account numbers already shared on screen. Please feel free to use them and make sure you get the best out of it. Beginning of lectures tomorrow is for the distance learners. Rather, the weekend students, they study over the weekend and they are starting tomorrow. The rest of you, we are starting on 4th. Day evening, we are starting on 4th. Okay, I think we are done with whatever we wanted to say. Unless someone wants to ask verbally. If you want to ask verbally, user, go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. This is Mr. Niro Bernard. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We are getting you.
I wanted to inquire because now, for instance, I've been admitted, but I've not yet seen the circular. Maybe concerning the fee structure. How can I access it?
I beg your pardon?
I'm saying I'm one of the lucky students who have been admitted to the university, but I'm not seeing the circular, for instance, concerning the fee structures, maybe the functional fee. So how am I going to access it?
Did you see a copy of your admission?
Not yet even, but I'm receiving the email. I've already even received the e-learning email and the user account, everything.
Now, if you look at your admission, I don't know if I can display for you what I have. Look at your admission letter.
Okay.
At the back of the admission letter,
yes.
Okay. At the back of your admission letter, if you can see this, your course appears at some point. Somewhere your course appears. Now your course will determine how much you're going to pay. So make sure you get a copy of your admission letter for you to know how much you're going to pay.
Okay.
As a fresher, you may not see a circular coming through to address your concern. Your information is contained within your admission letter, and how much you're supposed to pay is within the same admission letter.
Okay. But how can I access that admission? Because I'm not seeing it online.
Please add Timothy's number. We are going to add the number of Timothy to the number of those you're supposed to have as part of support. It's going to be part of the numbers. Okay. Any other person? Those whose hands are raised, please unmute. And when you're unmuted, mention your comment or your query.
Hello. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, hello.
As you come in, yes, all freshers should be residents. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much on the presentation. I think on the last presentation you had on how we can generate the pay reference, I was really not understanding on that. So could you please go once again on that?
Okay, we are going to share this recording and you have the details. You can review the recording, but I can do it briefly and a little bit fast. Go to your student portal.
Yeah.
You must have your student number, okay? And then the password for your student portal, and click at login. You click at login. Once you log in, you'll be able to see your details. Your payments will be displayed here. And then you have generate payment. Click at generate payment. Based on what you have, you can generate a payment based on the invoice which has been given to you for this semester, for example. Or you can generate a payment based on something else. You can generate a payment. If you are not sure of which invoice to pay for, you can go and apportion your money and say, maybe I'm supposed to pay for functional fees and the tuition. You may say functional fee, let me make a deposit of 300,000. So maybe 300,000. And then you come here, you make a deposit of maybe 400,000. That's about 300,000. So once you're done, 700,000, say generate reference. You shall have a reference coming for 700,000, but covering both functional fees and the tuition. If you're not very sure of these two, then simply come down to the third option and generate any amount that you feel you can afford. Okay? And then say generate reference. A code will come to you. Remember, this code is available for only 2 days. That is 24 hours. At the expiry of the 24 hours, it will cease to be valid. You need to generate another request. Please note, that after generating this, you can go to Barclays Bank or DFCU Bank or Stanbic, and you can also pay using mobile money. So I want to end this here and invite Basa to come and take us through another session. Thank you. Over to you, Basa. Mr. Chimoli, Dean, Mr. Chimoli, Dean. Can we have more questions coming in?
Hello?
Yes, please. Your background is very poor.
Welcome you.
So friends, anything in regards to accounts and more about the student portal and paying fees and so on, plus all that we've been able to go through, we shall let you know. We shall keep communicating to you. Make use of the university website. Make use of the YouTube channels. Make use of all our social media handles, Twitter, and so on. We keep posting our information there. Like them and follow us for any update that you may want to have in and around Nkumba University. Make use of the emails as they are being displayed to you on screen. Our number is inclusive. My number is there. Kayongo is there. Sylvia is there for IT. These are some of the IT people that we are going to have assisting you all the way through your learning experience between now and the time you finish your learning within Nkumba. So feel free to get in touch with them. We'll be able to take you through. As I said, please make use of those lines as they are to be able to assist you one-on-one. At this moment, allow me to invite Abo. Please, Abo, Alvin.
Yes.
Please, okay, give us a last prayer and we close the session.
Joseph. Hello? Joseph?
Yes, Basa is online. Over to you, Basa.
Joseph, I don't know if I just went off. I don't know.
You're online now. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Mine, as I was saying that just a small one that we have the 3 students, they applied. That's the student who have just applied to Nkumba, but not admitted. The one who is admitted is the one who have picked the admission, or not yet picked, but he has the admission. Then the registered student must have paid at least 40% of the university dues. When you pay 100%, it's okay, well and good, but the 40% is when somebody should be registered. When you are done with the registration, I told you I will not walk you through the other system of generating a reference and whatever. For Joseph has taken you through that, I will not bore you with that. However, when you are not on the system as well, you can pay through your mobile phone. On the mobile phone, I don't know if you have people with smartphone or without smartphone, you can as well pay and utilize that system. Where you generate it by yourself, I don't know if you have pens, you can to have it. You can generate using a payment. You type star on your phone 272 hash. There you will be able to generate yourself a reference. You don't need to wait for other people to generate for you. When you generate it, it's in option 1. Option 1, you select option 1, you get yourself a reference. When you've done, you write it down carefully. It has about 13 digits. You write it down and then type again. Here you are going to pay. You can pay money from your phone. You don't need to walk to the bank. Money must be on your phone. Load the amount of money you want to pay on your phone. Then you type again star 272 star 6 hash. Then you select 2, option number 2, which is make mobile payment. There it will walk you through again. There it will take you through as you to require to put in the reference number. The reference number which you may have generated in 1. And you continue, because in 1, you require to have to know the student's number. That's when I'm talking about the registered students must have the student's number, which you put, and the amount you select. You select for yourself. It's a financial buffet where you select how much you have to pay, and when to pay. However, the reference you generate, as Joseph had told you earlier, it's valid for only 48 hours. After 48 hours, it would have expired. You have to generate a new one. For all students to pay to sit for exams, you must have paid your full fees. That's the policy, and it still stands. I don't think there is much about finance, as we pray for you that you get the money to pay for your education. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Basa, and thank you, members. For being part of this session. Alvin, our prayer, please.
Okay, humble yourselves and we pray. Hello.
Please go ahead.
Humble yourselves and we pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this moment you have given us. We thank you for every information we have acquired from the meeting. Dear Heavenly Father, we hope that the information we have acquired we put into mind and into consideration so that you may guide us in whatever we have learned from the meeting. Dear Heavenly Father, protect us, guide us, and protect us from each and every disease, because we are going to start a journey of our education, God. Give us access to money so that we may pay our tuition in time. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hello.